What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions. In today's reaction video, I'm checking out a band for the very first time. And I have a feeling it's going to be the first time for a lot of you watching as well, because this is a brand new band. Every now and again on this channel, I want to do a reaction to something that's just completely brand new. And I often read press releases from different record labels to read about their new signings and new releases. And I discovered this band from a release from A Rising Empire. And A Rising Empire is the label home for bands like Imminence and Landmvrks and a bunch of other kick-ass bands. But there were a couple things that really intrigued me about this. The first thing was that this is a band from Sweden. Great start. But they're labeled as a hardcore band, and I don't hear about too many hardcore bands from Sweden. It's usually metal, and more specifically, melodeath. But the other thing intriguing about this is that the drummer in this band is also the drummer for Humanity's Last Breath and Vildhjarta. So I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to get with this, especially, again, considering they labeled this as a hardcore band. But past those things, I don't know anything else, so we're going to learn a lot in this one, and let's just get on with it, man. I will link this original video in the description below, and today, for the very first time, I am checking out Throne, and checking out the debut music video for their song, Grayout. Let's go! I just realized this is exactly a 2-minute long video, and for those of you that follow this channel know I love to talk about gear and break it down, but just so we don't turn this into an insanely long video, might be a lot of pop-up facts in this one instead of a lot of talking. But let's see what we get here. Oh, what a build. I want to build back into that, but let's just knock gear out right now so I don't have to talk through the rest of this. So I've noticed no bass player. So I don't know, one of their guitar players might do it in the studio, but one of their guitar players is rocking a Solar. Looks like a Type A. I'll look. We'll have pop-ups on it. The other guitar player looks like they're rocking an ESP TE. I think it's a T. It might be an E2 because it does have an Evertune bridge. Looks like it has the Fishman Fluence pickups in it, so that's probably one of the higher end E2s or something like that. And then amps, looks like they're rocking PV 6505s. I was about to say 5150s, but because the PV logo is dead centered on the amp, I'm just going to assume that's the 6505. Really cool history on that amp, but again, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's go. Oh, I love those harmonics. Sick ass bass tone. Oh, before that, One of the things I'm noticing with a lot of hardcore that I grew up with in the States, like kind of like East Coast hardcore kind of stuff, lyrically, a lot of that is pretty positive stuff in terms of like self-motivation and persevere. I mean, Hatebreed is a great example of that. All their lyrics are about perseverance and pushing through stuff, and hardcore has that general sense of like community and family and friends and stuff. These are some pretty self-deprecating lyrics, and it's pretty dark. This is pretty cool though, man. I do like some hardcore. I'm usually more of a metalhead, but I'm really digging this. And tonally, it sounds fantastic. Let's see what kind of badass breakdown we're about to get.
I'm moving on. Life's fucked. I'm on my own. Fuck. I get the clearly again. Why does everything look green? Where's the pain?
That's it already, man. I don't do this often, but let's just fucking watch it again. Seriously. Maybe we'll talk a little more about gear and stuff this time. All right, for those of you that are still here, you probably care. So let's just talk about gear real quick. They're definitely using the PV6505s, and those amps came after the 5150s. The PV5150 was originally the signature amplifier that PV made for Eddie Van Halen. But when Eddie Van Halen stopped his endorsement contract with PV, they changed the name of it to the 6505, which is actually to celebrate the 40-year anniversary of PV. 65 being 1965 when they were founded, 05 being 2005, the 40th year anniversary. And the amps are pretty much the same. A 6505 is basically a 5150. And then later on, when Eddie Van Halen signed his deal with Fender, they started producing the EVH line, and those amps are now once again called the 5150s. Again, as for the guitars, I'm going to have to look into it, but it's definitely a Solar. It's definitely an ESP. I know for sure it's a T series or a TE. I bet it's just the high-end T. And it looks like a Solar Type A, but again, I'll try my hardest to find that out. Drum-wise in this video, I can't see anything. There's no distinguishable logos. There's nothing that stands out, so I'll have to do a little bit of research. But other than that, man, this shit kicks ass. I love how those harmonics build from panned in one side to full in that second part. Man, this is the kind of stuff, like, I talk a lot on this channel about, like, the great thing about music is that emotionally you can connect to a lot of stuff. And this style of music for me is straight up when I'm just angry and I want to vent. And, you know, I like music like this is great for the gym or when you're doing something exhausting and stuff like that. But it's, to me, metal and hardcore has always been like a therapeutic outlet to, like, when I am feeling certain emotions, I can listen to this music and it helps me express it and get it out and stuff like that. But the one thing I will say, you wouldn't fucking catch me in the middle of one of this band's pits ever. Man, I used to jump into pits when I was younger all the time. But hardcore crowds, man, different breed. Way different than metal. And I would imagine a pit for this band, you're getting fucking hurt. Like, it's happening. But I dig it. Let's hear this just massive breakdown again and wrap it up.
I'm moving on. Life's fucked. I'm on my own. Fuck.
Love that ride work too.
I get the cloudy again. What if everything looked green? It's time to burn.
Holy shit. That's just brutal, man. This seems like a fun band, man. And I don't know if this is a side project for a lot of these guys because, like we talked, some of the band members are in other bands. But if this is their debut, it's a 2-minute long song and it's that chuggy and palm muted heavy. I feel like this is just going to be like a live hardcore pit band. Like, I think this is what you're going to get from this band. Let's go talk more about it. So let's break this down into a couple parts. First, we'll start with the video. I thoroughly enjoy performance videos like this where I get to see the band. You get to see how they look, how they move, how they express themselves, and get a good idea of how they would perform on stage with their music. Now, there were some fast shots. It was a little dark, so I didn't get to nerd out on as much gear as I would have liked to, but that's just me being picky for this channel because that's what I do. Overall, fantastic video. It was a great introduction to this band and seeing what they're like. Now, sound-wise, I thought this mix, especially for a hardcore band like this, was incredible, man. The tones on everything were massive. I liked some of the panning that they were doing, especially with those harmonic parts. Like, going back to the emotion with music like this, while this isn't something I would listen to every single day, there is a place for a band like this and music like this in my playlist. I love that music allows me to express myself and vent feelings and stuff like that. And there's a use for that with this band for me. When I used to tour all the time, I used to listen to metal and hardcore and stuff in my guitar world, working on guitars every day. And it was inevitable that I would have at least 1 or 2 people walk by every day from other crews and be like, why do you listen to such angry music? I'm like, to you guys, this sounds angry, but to me, this is therapy. This kind of music allows me to really vent frustrations without physically doing it. Like, I feel like I just did a therapy session if I'm angry or frustrated and I listen to something like this. It lets me express my emotions without, going out and doing something dangerous. And I love it. And I've talked to a lot of people that tell me that music does the same for them. Now, considering they're a new band, we're getting towards the end of the year, I would not be surprised to see these guys on tour hard next year with, the pandemic allowing it and stuff like that. I feel like these guys would fit right in with their label mates with Landmvrks and stuff like that. But again, if I go see this band ever, I'm going to stand near the front of house sound console, and I don't think I'm going anywhere near this pit. But overall, man, I really dug this, and I hope there's some people out there that really liked this as well. And thank you guys very much for your time and watching. And if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe. I release new videos all the time. Subscribing is free and it helps my channel out a ton. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like as it also helps the channel. But if you disliked it, no big deal, man. Thank you very much for your time. You are free to click dislike if you didn't like it. I'm also on a ton of different social media. We have a Discord server that a ton of us hang on. I have a Twitch where I do everything from video games to bass playing, guitar tech work, reactions. So if any of that stuff interests you, I'll throw links in the description as well. My handle on everything social media is @TankTheTech. Thank you so very much for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.